to my YouTube channel.
Welcome to day 3 in Osaka. On my third date, I dove into local vibes with 2 awesome tours. Considering I spent the previous days at an amusement park and visiting Hofu City, this was my first real day getting to know Osaka. You'll notice right away that people here are super friendly and pretty outspoken. The city is a foodie's paradise, boasting over 69,000 restaurants, and it's also big on comedy. Most recently, Disney adapted the series Shogun that covered a huge part of Osaka's history. Oh, and if you ever need a pharmacy, you're in luck. They're practically on every corner. Today, we wander around the famous Doton-bury district and some lively streets nearby. I got the Osaka Kickstarter hotspots and hidden gems through Viator, which kicked off at 10 AM. Most places around here don't open until about 11 AM, but they stay open super late, like till 2 or 3 AM. So if you're one of those extroverted people that like to be around people late at night, this is the spot to be. Jumping back into the tour, our guide Miko was awesome at showing us around. He took us along the canal that stretches all the way to Kyoto and even to the Osaka castle. He kicked things off with a quick history lesson about how the castle was built. I'll dive deeper into Osaka Castle on day 4, so stay tuned for that next week. While we were chilling by the canal, Miko dropped some knowledge on how Osaka earned its reputation as the capital food in Japan. Post-war in 1952, people rebuilt Osaka Castle and revamped the city, bringing all sorts of food from everywhere. After the canal, we stopped by a Buddhist shrine that had a statue of Oji Sosama, the god of water. This statue, wrapped in a red scarf, is considered the protector of unborn children. Mothers place scarves around the statue to seek blessings for their children as they navigate the underworld. And just a friendly warning, it might seem tempting, but you should never touch the statues. Miko gave us a quick rundown on Japan's 2 main religions, Buddhism and Shintoism. They might look similar style-wise, but they focus on different things, but more on that later. Next, we headed over to Amemura, or America Town. Miko taught us the word okini, which is the Kansai dialect for thank you, pretty much their way of saying arigatou gozaimasu. America Town is like a little slice of the US, with American food stores like tacos and churros. Oh, that type of America. I mean, it's pretty much themed on how Japanese people see Americans. I guess. There's also American clothing, whatever that means, plus all kinds of vintage finds. It was actually in Amemura that I finally tried takoyaki, and man, it was about time. Up to this point in my trip, I've been eating an insane amount of onigiris, plus sushi and nabe, but not takoyaki. So munching on some delicious takoyaki was a highlight. We wrapped up our visit in America Town at a pinball alley. Don't ask me exactly where it was because 2 months after my trip, the details are a bit fuzzy. And honestly, I was just following Miko around. Next, our tour took us to the Shinsaibashi area, a bustling 1,300 foot long shopping district where you can scoop up everything, from gacha machines and trendy clothing to kitchen gadgets and fancy watches. Shinsaibashi is also a hotspot for nightlife, packed with bars, clubs, and izakayas that stay open late into the night. From there, we stroll over to Osaka's very own Times Square, the Doton-bury district, right across the Ebisu bridge. Here, you can spot the iconic Running Man sign by the Glyco Chocolate Company. There's a fun legend that says that if you eat their chocolate, you can run for 8 kilometers without stopping. The area is also home to a kabuki theater, showcasing one of Japan's oldest forms of comedy and acting. This part of the Dotonbori is a foodie heaven, though prices can be a bit steeper due to the heavy tourist flow. Diving into the food scene for a moment, some of Osaka's most tried dishes include takoyaki, which tops the list, followed by okonomiyaki, and kushikatsu, which is deep fried food of almost any kind, not to be confused with tempura. Sushi comes in fourth, and ramen rounding up the top 5 traditional foods from Osaka. As you wander around the Doton-bury area or almost any shopping district in Osaka, you'll likely come across numerous statues of a figure named Billiken, the god of things as they ought to be. Interestingly, Billiken originated as the mascot for St. Louis University in the USA, but was adopted in Osaka as the patron deity of food merchants. The tour also guided us through some historical back alleyways, complete with photos showing what the area looked like before it was bombed in World War II. Earlier, we visited a Buddhist shrine, and now we've come across a Shinto shrine, easily recognizable by its torii gates. These gates symbolize entering a sacred place, and it's customary to purify yourself by washing your hands. First the left, then the right. The proper etiquette when entering a Shinto shrine involves a specific sequence. Step in with your right foot first, then the left, bow twice, clap twice to awaken the deity, just in case they're napping, bow again, and then make your prayer. This ritual shows respect and acknowledgement to the shrine's deity. Miko then delved into the significant role of religion in Japanese culture. Shintoism features about 8 million gods, each woven into countless rituals and traditions that emphasize respect for nature. Buddhism, deeply ingrained in Japanese life, focuses on personal betterment, respect towards others, and a harmonious society. While I could go much deeper into these topics, the essence is that the combined influences of Shintoism and Buddhism help to explain the remarkable kindness and respectfulness found in Japanese people. Our next stop was a pachinko parlor, which was an ear-blasting experience. These parlors are known to be quite loud, and let's just say that they're operated by very interesting and not sketchy at all people. You don't win cash directly from the machines, instead you collect metal balls. You take these to a counter where they count it, and then, in a not so mysterious fashion, you visit a completely unrelated store nearby to exchange them for money. We wrapped up our tour with a fantastic food crawl at Kurumon Market, where many of the stalls have been family-owned since the 1800s. I ordered some delectable wagyu meat and squid in one stall, and some shrimp with octopus okonomiyaki in another, and while we waited for the food to be ready, we went to eat some food. We savored some chuturo, the prize middle back fat of the tuna, for 800 yen. Remember, while some shops do accept cards, it's wise to have some cash on hand. From the chuturo, we moved on to a sushi in a cone. I went for the eel, which was absolutely delicious. By the time we were done with that, my wagyu meat and okonomiyaki were ready. As we continued wandering through Kurumon Market, I couldn't help but feel a wave of nostalgia again for the food markets back in Mexico. Same vibrant atmosphere, just in Japanese instead of Spanish. And a little side note, not relevant to the video, but as I'm editing this, it's very late and all this food talk is making me hungry. After wrapping up the official tour at Kurumon Market, I couldn't resist continuing my exploration there. I stumbled upon a shop teeming with pufferfish and decided to try some pufferfish sashimi. It was a bit on the pricey side, but definitely worth the experience. The adventure didn't stop there. At another stop, I indulged in some takoyaki, enjoyed various pastries, and at some point I got completely lost. But then an arcade caught my eye. After dropping about 6,000 yen on claw machines, I walked away with a fern and a freedom figurine. Sure, I could have bought them for about the same price at a figurine store, but nothing beats the thrill of finally snagging them from the claw machine. It's a different kind of victory. My evening tour took me around the Ebisu Higashi district, specifically to some restaurants along Nangyodori Shopping Street. This tour had more people and was totally focused on food. I'm speeding through this part because honestly, editor me is sleep deprived and hungry. I enjoyed the tour and loved the food, but the thought of raiding a McDonald's, since it's the only place open as I edit this, is starting to sound way too tempting. As we were walking around the restaurants, we got a sneak peek of the Tsutenkaku Tower, which was inspired by the Eiffel Tower. Kinda. I'll cover it more in another video. But for now, here's another fun Billiken sighting. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, it's believed that rubbing Billiken feet brings good luck. I know, I'm kinda like contradicting myself since I just said not to touch anything from the statues, but I guess Billiken is the exception. He even has his own shrine, though this one is a replica since the original one was unfortunately destroyed. And that's a wrap for day 3. Don't forget to tune in next week for day 4. Keep watching anime, and now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to raid a McDonald's. Bye.